It's all lies, but he's stirring.
New video tonight shows the Milwaukee County judge charged with obstructing an immigration arrest speaking candidly about the case, calling the allegations against her all lies. It is the first time we're hearing from Judge Hannah Dugan directly in her own words in police body camera video we obtained just today. Dugan made the comments to Milwaukee police officers while trying to report a threat against her and her family.
Investigative reporter James Stratton taking a closer look at that video tonight. And James, the timing of this video, that is going to be what's critical.
And it happened, Deanna, at the same day that media reports started to surface saying that she was under federal investigation, as you mentioned, and the video shows she called it all lies, end quote. We also heard from her in her own words for the first time about what happened inside the Milwaukee County Courthouse.
I'm Judge Hannah Dugan, okay, and I think that might be relevant to this thing.
For the first time, Judge Hannah Dugan speaking about an incident that later led to federal authorities arresting and charging her. New, heavily redacted body camera video shows Milwaukee police response to her home. Police at her house for an unrelated threat, a man putting a leaflet on her door, talking about knives and concealed carry laws. That same day, reports started to break that she was under federal investigation.
I haven't answered the press. I got to talk to the powers that be before I make any response because it's all lies.
3 days later, the FBI arrested her at the Milwaukee County Courthouse, accusing her of helping an undocumented immigrant evade federal agents inside the courthouse.
I'm not being investigated by the feds. The FBI was not there. ICE was there. I directed them down the hall to the administrative offices. What happened after that is their business. I did not hide this migrant in the jury room or in my chambers. I had him leave out the back door, which I do when the circumstances warrant it. And these are the circumstances that warrant it. I had a room of 30 people, and I just sent them out the back door.
He is Eduardo Flores Ruiz, an undocumented immigrant from Mexico, charged with domestic abuse in state court and now agreeing to plead guilty to being in the country illegally in federal court. Courthouse surveillance video shows Judge Dugan talking to ICE agents in the hallway before his hearing.
I don't know if he's an illegal immigrant, which is what they're claiming. I'm not supposed to know that when they come in front of me.
Tonight, Judge Dugan's defense team saying the video reinforces the facts they've argued, saying in part, quote, Judge Dugan's statements show that even before she was arrested or aware of a federal investigation, her comments reinforced that she did nothing wrong in this matter and treated the misdemeanor case like any other in her courtroom.
James, the federal case against Dugan is still going.
In her defense, Deanna filed a motion to dismiss that case altogether. We are still waiting for a federal judge's ruling on that part of her federal case. Meantime, tonight, Dugan is still suspended while that federal case continues in federal court. Police are still looking for the man who allegedly left the leaflets at Judge Dugan's house as well as her sister's house, the reason that she called police in the first place.
In this case, an investigation far from over. James Stratton reporting live outside the Milwaukee County Courthouse tonight.